Okay, what's up everybody? In today's video, I'm going to be talking about kind of what I think about Elden Ring Nightreign. As a Souls veteran, as someone who's played all the games, and kind of just my thoughts on it. So, right out the gate, I'm just going to get right into the just topic. I think this game is really good if you have the correct mindset going into this game. So what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is basically if you're going into this game thinking that it's Elden Ring 2, you are going to have a fairly bad time. You're not going to like this game. You're going to be disappointed. But if you go into this game thinking, oh yeah, this is just some food before their next big project, and oh yeah, it's just going to be some reused assets put into Elden Ring, the newer graphically enhanced version of the game, with some cool abilities and some reused assets, some cool little nods to the other games, then you're gonna love it. You're gonna fucking love it, especially if you have buddies that play this game. Now, there is a couple problems with this game, so I'll just kind of get right into it here. The biggest problem with this game, just straight up, is the actual multiplayer. So, the problem is there's no duos. It's not well optimized for solo. It's trios. So what that means is that, well, you may have lots of friends, okay? I'm not saying you don't. You may not have two other friends that play this actual game. So if you only have one friend who plays this game, you can't run duos. It's only trios or solo. So that's kind of an awkward number. It's an odd number. It's not great that they did that, but yeah. Some other problems with the game as well is that the map is the same every time, which isn't too big of a complaint, and the perks are kind of whatever, they're alright. And then another problem with the game is that the actual bosses at the end, honestly, some of them are kind of mid, I'm not gonna lie. The Tricephalos is good, the starter one is good. The Sentient Pest was alright. Augur is terrible. And I don't think Gaping Jaw is that good, to be honest. I think its first phase is alright, second phase is just a mess, to be honest. Yeah, so that's kind of my take on it. But the good part of this game, now you can play lots of classes. The classes are really fun. Don't watch the class tier lists. No one knows what they're talking about. All of these classes can be good. All of these classes are fun. They're well designed. I'm personally a Wilder fan. Guardian is really good for carrying your team. If you have a bum-ass team, it's great to carry them. Because let's be honest, if you're that's kind of a problem, is if you're playing in solo queue, you're going to have some bummy teammates. Now, one thing I will say is you're going to have really big bums when you're on Tricephalos, but as soon as you get past Tricephalos and you're on all these other expeditions, the players, the randoms, get significantly better because, why? To get these, you gotta beat this. And if you are the average random, you're not beating this. Just straight up, you're not beating this shit. No fucking way. So, that's kind of a nice thing. And again, for the positives, again, I really love the characters are good. The skins are nice. Again, still your classic, Souls experience on fighting the bosses and stuff like that. Some of the new attacks are good. And I'll kind of just drop some tips and tricks as well. So, when you pick up a weapon, every weapon or shield will have a perk. And those perks do not have to have the weapon equipped to have the perk. It just has to be in your inventory. So that's really important. The other tip is make sure you go to the churches. Make sure you get all of the heals before the third night. That's really important because having a lot of heals is really good. And that's really going to make your chances of actually like beating the raid a lot better. So I would definitely do that. And then again, of course, make sure that if you know you're picking like recluse, you're kind of going for more of a mage setup, right? If you're playing raider, you want to be going a strength setup because all of these characters have different stats, and when you upgrade them, those stats get upgraded more than others. So let's say, like for example, raider, he has a much higher strength, like scaling, than recluse. So you want to make sure that you're kind of picking weapons. Again, what I would just say is like pick a weapon that sort of matches their starter weapon. So this guy would be like claymores, like normal greatswords. This guy would be ultra weapons, right? This guy would be like halberds, spears. This guy would be bows. This girl would be daggers. And then, so yeah, that's some like little tips there. I would make sure to kind of clear. What I would do is when you get dropped in, clear the outskirts and then kind of move out to in. Kind of do it like that rather than just kind of going all over the place, and try and start to get a route. That's really good too. Just in terms of like, I don't want to rate these classes because I think they're all fairly balanced, but I would say the best composition is one melee, so one melee two melee and one ranged. So that can be like Guardian, Wilder, and then Recluse, or Wilder, Guardian, Iron Eye, or Wilder, Duchess, Revenant, or something like that. I'll just give a quick overview. Wilder is just like the all-rounder. Pretty nice, I can't lie. Guardian is like the support, which is the shield of the team. Iron Eye, you just literally just sit there and shoot arrows at people. Duchess is like dagger lady, like very fast, like just like example of a dex build. Raider is the prime example of a strength build. Poise, if you don't know what that is, basically just tanking through hits. He has a damage buff for his ult. Revenant is like the necromancer. I haven't really played her much at all, I don't think. Recluse is just your simple mage. And then Executor is like, if you are secure, one of those people, again, I don't fuck with these people heavy, but if you're one of those Sekiro like mains and all you talk about is Sekiro and you don't really care that much about other Souls games, but you just love Sekiro, play the Executor. He's basically just turned into the Sekiro. And his ult is pretty sick, I can't lie. So he just turned into a beast. Now one thing about Executor is his ult, if you die in the ult form, you will die. So that is kind of something that you should keep in mind as something like that. So yeah, so overall I would give this game like a 7.5 out of 10, maybe an 8. I still think it's really good. Like, I still think it's a blast. It's really fun to play with your friends. I think it's all about managing your expectations, though. They didn't work on this for a very long time. They put out an amazing DLC for Elden Ring. It exceeded my expectations. So, stop giving it a bad review because you're just looking at it wrong if you're giving it a bad review. You don't really understand what the point of this game is. I will say, it is a roguelike, and it does not have very strong roguelike features in it. So the whole point of like playing it a lot is kind of diminished because the perks you get from killing bosses and stuff do not matter that much. That's the last thing I'll say. Overall, I would still highly recommend this game. And yeah, honestly, still think it's a great game. It's been a blast. And yeah, hope everyone out there has a good night, and I will see you in the next one.